Aloha, y'all. It is Saturday, the 30th, Saturn's Day. There is a new moon solar eclipse today with the Uranus conjunct. Let's get into some of this astrology, but it's a pretty intense moment, and some of this stuff is actually conjunct some of my stuff. Like the sun right now is conjunct my Venus, but I digress. So it's the 30th. The sun is at 10 degrees Taurus. The moon is at 6 degrees Taurus. It'll be that eclipse in 4 degrees. Mercury's has now entered Gemini as the sun and moon Gemini personally. I could feel it. The mental activities a lot faster, a lot quicker, a lot more electric and light. More than it was in Taurus. And now we're in Mercury and Gemini where it's exalted. It wants to be here the most. So it should be pretty good going. Venus is at 27 degrees Pisces. Mars is at 11 degrees Pisces. Jupiter's at 27 degrees Pisces, exactly conjunct Venus, right? So we've got a lot of things going on. Personally, I do, like Sun conjunct my personal natal Venus. But Jupiter is conjunct Venus for everybody right now. Uranus is at 14 degrees Taurus, loosely conjunct the Sun, and therefore my Venus. Neptune's at 24 degrees Pisces, also in the mix with that 3-degree orb between Venus and Jupiter. Pluto's at 28 degrees retrograde now, so we're feeling that in Capricorn. And the North Node is at 22 degrees Taurus retrograde. It is an Ajna chakra day. What up, Odessa? It is a third eye chakra day. This corresponds with your pituitary gland. And keywords are intuition, mysticism, and understanding. Positive aspects are highly intuitive, faithful, clear-sighted, integrous, and orderly-minded. Negative aspects are inability to trust your intuition, scattered mind, inconsiderate, and blinkered vision. The mantra is Om, Om, right? You got to see it here. And we do that in the key of A, 432 hertz, right? Key of A, oming. Spiritual activities include reflection, contemplation, meditation, creative use of your imagination. Essential oils are camphor, sweet pea, and heliotrope. Plant is almond blossom. Metal is silver. The element is the cosmos. Musical note is A. Crystals are sapphire, lapis lazuli, and tanzanite. And the soul lesson is detachment and intuition. So let's go ahead and get some cards for the day. Hopefully you all are doing well. We're already starting with a lot of energy. Just given the fact that it's an eclipse, that's been a new moon, solar eclipse. We've been feeling this energy for a few days. And like I said, we've got a few conjunctions. Uranus is conjunct technically the sun and the moon. It will be during this eclipse, loosely, but by 3 or 4 degrees. And then we've got Jupiter, Venus, Neptune conjunction. Beautiful energy there. We've got Gemini now entering Mercury, or Mercury entering Gemini rather. So we've got a whole lot of change in the air, and I myself am leaving Costa Rica. I'll be basically getting on a plane a week from now-ish and heading back to the States, trying to figure out what's next. I got a lot of interesting ideas, but nothing is popping. But enough about me. I'm only so interesting. Let's get into the cards. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Thank God. We need to ground this. North Node in Taurus, Sun in Taurus. Conjunct Uranus, and it's going to be the moon in Taurus eclipsing the new moon in the sun, right? The new moon in Taurus. So full moon solar eclipse. So let's get into it. But the Queen of Pentacles is the watery part, the feminine, intuitive part, dare I say, the psychic part, right? Ajna chakra of Earth. The Pentacles, your material things, your body, your mind, like physically, your corpus callosum and your hemispherics, and yeah, so it's the watery part of Earth, the Queen of Pentacles, nurturing yourself in the environment around you. It's rainy season, I guess, here in Costa Rica, or at least a spell of it. It's been cloudy and rainy for the past few days. Be open to the needs of others, distribute the wealth you have among others equally, and channel your gifts to create new life. Queen of Pentacles, I love and nurture this great land of ours. The Queen of Pentacles is the ultimate Earth Mother, the great healer, and that's very appropriate for a Sun in Taurus, North Node in Taurus, Uranus conjunct the moon and sun in Taurus, new moon solar eclipse. As a mistress of nature, she is the great protector, nourisher, and sustainer of wildlife and their ecosystems. Her passionate connection to the miracle of life in all of its forms has given her knowledge of the bountiful matrix. Everything is indeed connected to everything else, powered by the sun. She is the great channeler of the Vitas, the life catalyzer, signified here by the fecund energy streaming from her hands, shooting life into the seed pod which releases the strand of DNA into the world. Utterly sensitive, sensual, and receptive, she is an abundant channel in this Garden of Eden, very Venus, Jupiter, Neptune conjunct, Pisces. The small armadillo wears armor on its back, symbolic of protection. The armor is a physical and spiritual shield which guards its safety, indicating not only the need to protect the heart when the occasions call, but reminding us humbly of how small we are in the scheme of life. And with Pluto now retrograde in Capricorn and Mercury now in Gemini, we can really feel how small we might be in the scheme of things. Our minds will be like, hey, you're a cog in the machine of life, and don't forget it. This creature typically, the armor of this armadillo, it's pictured. This creature typically lives in subterranean dens, further prompting us to remember that Earth is the great womb and tomb of all life. We are all part of Mother Earth, an invisible living community of interconnected systems. Evidence of exploitation and contamination to the lands over the years has led to corrosive deterioration and destruction, threatening the diversity of life, including our own. Uranus conjunct Sun and Moon. In Taurus, we've been radically altering the Earth, Saturn and Aquarius. If we were boldly to proclaim as the universal declaration of rights, announcing Earth is Gaia, a living entity with the right to exist, persist, maintain, and regenerate its vital cycles, then might we not be catalyzing the life force from the seed pod with our own hands, North Node in Taurus? We need legal power to prevent misguided interests from treating this Earth as mere property to be sold to the highest bidder, Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Saturn and Aquarius. Might it protect the gift of fresh, clean water, less than 3% of all water sources, and even more miraculously fragile, less than 0.01% of the surface water found in lakes, swamps, rivers, and streams? The armadillo's uncanny ability to walk underwater and survive torrential flooding by inflating its body so it floats reflects a way we ourselves might navigate the watery realm of emotions and surrender to its torrents. This queen is certainly moved to take action. Despite her considerable wealth and status, she is conscious of the precious opportunities and resources she can access in her daily life. She doesn't take them for granted for 1 minute. Aware of her afforded privileges that many in the developing world don't have, she realizes wealth for all can only happen when we engage our collective political and social will to distribute it fairly. Saturn and Aquarius, right? The royal we. And I'm wearing the Dude Abides shirt from Royal We, is a Big Lebowski quote. You are being invited to connect with the natural abundance of nature that is your birthright and channel it beautifully to catalyze your life. Very loudly, Sun in Taurus, Moon going to be conjunct in an eclipse, new moon, eclipse, solar eclipse. So Sun, Moon in Taurus, North Node of Taurus, Uranus in Taurus. We have this birthright in the world to what? Electrify and radically alter and evolve together, Saturn and Aquarius. But we need to be doing it thoughtfully. Pluto retrograding now in Capricorn with Mercury and Gemini. We need to think about what we're doing. And also we need to dream bigger, kind of like an Inception where they're like, you must dream bigger, darling. It's like that. Neptune conjunct Venus and Jupiter in Pisces, Mars also in Pisces. So, the Queen of Pentacles, watery part of Earth, nurturing yourself and the environment around you, being open to the needs of others, distributing the wealth you have equally among others, channel your gifts to create new life. I'm feeling it. I'm hoping that we can tap into that energy in the next, this whole lifetime, shall we say. But the energy right now is very behooving. I don't even know if that's a word. It behooves us to use it to move forward practically in our dream, ground it, but make it beautiful. What makes your heart sing? How can you make, like the birds surrounding me here in Costa Rica, how can you make yourself and others sing while being practical and helping, using your value? The Bible verse is something like, we're blessed to be a blessing. How can you take your blessings and pay it forward, right? You go, your value increases, North Node and Taurus, other people's value increases, Saturn and Aquarius, and the structure all rises together. And we edit, undo Pluto and Capricorn, all the things that, retrograde in Capricorn, all the things that we need to kind of, all the bad apples. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's a hacking moment where we're going to really upgrade. So don't think this is just some new age woo. It's like it's really happening always and every day. 5 of Swords. We might feel this Mercury and Gemini now, and Uranus conjunct this Sun and Moon eclipse, solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse. We might be feeling this mentally. as just like, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on. This is an angel, which is nice. But the Five of Swords, fives are typically pretty battling energy, difficult energy, you could say. And swords are the mind. So if you're a Gemini, like myself, a Libra and Aquarius, this is naturally your suit. Briefly, it says, I must win at all costs, right? Very South Node Scorpio energy. Battle your inner demons. The compulsion to win, keeping a beneficial advantage, and letting the past pile up around you, acting out of integrity. And I think that's what we really need to be focusing on. How are we acting in integrity with what we have? How are we planting and paying forward? How are we moving the dream forward together? Jupiter, Venus, Neptune conjunct, Mars and Pisces, right? Where it's like, how can we move this dream forward? It's moving, we're flowing, and we want to swim towards the things that we value the most. Sun, Moon, Uranus, North Node, and Taurus. With Mercury and Gemini now, we can actually think clearly, hopefully not too many thoughts, but we can think clearly of what we see in the world, what we love, and how we want to move towards it. It's a beautiful energy, albeit a little intense, I'm not going to lie. I've been waking up, at 2 a.m. and working out at random times, and just weird energy. It's weird, but we need it. I mean, we always get you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need, according to the Rolling Stones. This is how the energy of the astrology works. It's like, this is the upgrades and the epiphanies and the insights and the growth that we need collectively and individually at this time, or else it wouldn't be happening, right? It's kind of like in a video game or in a film. It's like the part of the plot of the movie or the film or the book or whatever the game is exactly where it needs to be for the story to unfold that way. So we've got the Raven. Now with Mercury and Gemini, this is very apropos. Hopefully we're going to get insights. Ajna Chakra. So, number 23, which is a really bizarre Jim Carrey movie. If you haven't seen it, you'll live without it. But number 23 is kind of about like the sinister side of synchronicity, essentially. News. And with Uranus conjunct this Sun and Moon solar new moon eclipse in Taurus, in the North Node in Taurus, I know, and now Mercury and Gemini, I know we're going to be getting flashes of insight and essentially news into how we can beautify the world in our own lives responsibly, right? It might overwhelm our minds a little, and we might be like, oh my God, I've never thought about it that way. Like, I'm starting to realize, just a lot of things. Like, university's free in Germany and Norway. I just have to pay to live there. Well, that's a lot cheaper than otherwise, but now my Nana's like, you can come here and stay here and finish your degree and not pay rent. But is that the best move? Anyway, whole lot of news on the horizon, right? So news, Raven, keep your senses about you. And with a solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, especially with Uranus conjunct it now Mercury and Gemini, this eclipse, solar eclipse in Taurus, we have to keep our wits about us, right? Not everything you hear is going to be good news, but hopefully you can discern the wheat from the chaff, right? The good from the bad, using your mind, hopefully not feeling like you're at a battle of wits and fighting your inner demons constantly, but that might happen. Keep your senses about you. News or significant announcements are coming. Do not believe everything you hear unless it's from a reputable source. Especially with deepfake technology now, you never know what's going on the news, quote unquote. Gather information and guidance before making decisions. We can stride through other worlds, not just this one, in order to understand our nature. And is that not an Ajna Chakra kind of prophetic utterance? I'll be eating mushrooms today. Probably not a heroic dose, but that's what that is. And we need to be going through multiple dimensionality, right? You could do it sober too, meditation works. Mythos. Hugin and Munin are the two ravens of the Allfather Odin. Hugin is Norse for thought, and Munin means memory. Every morning, Hugin and Munin leave the broad shoulders of Odin and fly out to observe and gather the news of the worlds. If there's anything very urgent, they fly back to tell Odin so he can take action. Otherwise, they come back to Odin at the end of the day and tell him what they've been witness to. Mercury and Gemini now, right? Our minds are going out, our thoughts and memories, right? Are going out in the world, third eye, Ajna Chakra day, and collecting data, essentially. Saturn and Aquarius, helping us structure our reality. Through these discussions and the gathering of knowledge, Odin becomes the wisest of gods. So the gathering of knowledge with this angel, right, more flying, and these are flying little angels of the bird world. She's got bird wings, 5 of Swords clarifier. Hopefully we don't feel like, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds, where all these ideas and all these thoughts are coming and we're just like, oh my God. But we're getting an upgrade of how to create value in the world. Just look at it that way. How are you creating value personally, for for yourself and others, and how are others contributing to your value? What needs to be cut out, right? Now that Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn, we're doing surgery, and Uranus is conjunct this new moon solar eclipse. Now that we're in that kind of energy and Mercury is in Gemini, we can see the gangrene and cut it out, right? And what are we doing that for? To be the best we can be in the world, Queen of Pentacles, like the most intuitive we can be in the world, Ajna Chakra Day, see more clearly, right? I think it's, I forget, some Christian musical, but it's like day by day, to love you more clearly, or I don't even know the words, to see you more, to love you more dearly, to see you more clearly, day by day, or something like that. But that's what we're doing. We're increasing our value day by day. Hopefully we're aware. I think a gentleman is going to be using the latrine in a second, so you'll see someone walk by. Hopefully we're using our minds, Five of Swords, not against ourselves, but for the betterment of ourselves in the world. But we're getting news today, insights, Ajna Chakra, on how to do this. So they come back. Through these discussions and the gathering of knowledge, Odin became the wisest of gods, knowing much lore and the ways of the worlds. Ravens are the stars of mythos that cross many cultures, including the first of nations of America, Celtic, Welsh, Siberian, and Mexican. Ravens are often characterized as being tricksters and information gatherers. And now that Mercury is in Gemini, that is the energy. It is very much trickster energy, right? Mercury is exalted in Gemini. So this is the news gathering and info we want and need right now. The animal. The members of the Corvus genus are smart. Their brain size is large for their size, and they display complex problem-solving skills, including working with tools. Ravens belong to a tiny percentage of animals that display displacement in their communication, which is the ability to disseminate about things that are not immediately present in the here and now. Oh, you mean they're almost intuitively speaking, Ajna Chakra, and they're seeing through the veil and being a genius, Five of Swords at the best, to create value in their communities, Saturn and Aquarius. I'm a Sun and Moon Gemini, Jason, so, and with Chiron and Gemini, so of course, and I'm 11th house Sun and Moon, so yeah. But don't look at it that way. That's some cup half empty shit. It's like we're all going to communicate more fluidly and inspire each other mentally. That's probably the better way to look at it, right? Okay, so Ravens use this displacement communication, talking about things that aren't presently exactly in front of them. So, I mean, right now we want to be focusing on the world in front of us, Sun and Taurus, Moon eclipsing, this new moon eclipsing the Sun, solar eclipse in Taurus with Uranus conjunct it in the North Node in Taurus. What are we creating in the world? What value are we creating in the world physically? But maybe there's things that we're not, that aren't in front of us, right? Five of Swords, Ajna Chakra, that we can gather information on in order to make better decisions about the present moment or the physical reality. So it's like, kind of like chess. I mean, you have a fucking chessboard in front of you, but your mind is having to go a few moves ahead behind the veil intuitively, right? Ajna Chakra, in order to know how to play the game, a few steps ahead, as they say, right? So that's kind of the energy we're dealing with. For example, they can transmit to other ravens about something out of sight that happened earlier. A single raven has been observed watching a wolf kill a deer. The raven went back to his home and communicated this to the other ravens, and without that particular raven going back to the kill, the other ravens fly directly to the kill site. Saturn and Aquarius. Let's get this, let's inspire each other towards, better community through communication, electric communication, Gemini and Mercury and Gemini. Ravens also observe animals that bury food for later consumption and steal from these hoarders. Very trickster energy, very using your head, right? Mercury and Gemini. But also, these other animals are trying to, it's like a battle of the wits, Five of Swords. These animals have buried, Sun and Taurus, North Node and Taurus, their value, and then the ravens come in and say, you know what, I see this value and I'm going to take it. But with the Queen of Pentacles as the card of the day and the Clarifier as the Five of Swords, it's like, use your head in the world well. North Node and Taurus, right? Gemini and Mercury and Gemini. So, ravens also observe animals that bury food for later consumption to steal from these hordes. Furthermore, they have an awareness that is the same thing. They have an awareness that the same thing could happen to them, and will go to a lot of time and trouble to find a place in which their own cash will be safe. They are very vigilant in case they themselves are being observed. Some South Node and Scorpio paranoia, deep state worries. It happens, right? Ravens are incredibly fine mimics and very vocal, and other ravens and very vocal with other ravens and animals. Domesticated ravens are able to mimic the speech of humans and understand human words. They are known for their jet black feathers, which have a glossy iridescent blue sheen, and are one of the heaviest birds for their size. The common raven is one of the most long-lived birds, living often in the world for 21 years, right? North Node and Taurus, they live a long time. They have vitality, right? And we need to be looking at the seed pods in our hands and knowing how we are investing and reaping what we sow. We're planting seeds right now. This is a very cosmic moment. New moons are about planting ideas and planting seeds. And with this being an eclipse, the first of this season, there's usually 3. You go solar, lunar, solar. We're planning some really beautiful things for the future, but you have to be aware of what's going on, right? I wrote a song for a high school talent show. It was essentially, long story short, we went in to play a song, for example, a song Hot, off of Hot Rat's album, Peaches and Regalia, and they were like, you guys are so good, be the house band, so I ended up having to write all these songs and stuff, and the committee came over, this is some Gemini life shit, the committee came over and they're like, what's the story for our play going to be, because we have to have a structure of plot, right? Queen of Pentacles, it has to have a grounding in it, and basically I was like, let's imagine a tsunami hits the school and it freezes, some day after tomorrow shit, and we're all stuck here. And they made it the plot, so I don't know, odd stuff. But anyway, we have to be planting your seeds. I don't even know why I went on that rip about my past, but Mercury is definitely in Gemini. We can gather news and be doing well. I've just totally lost my thought. Sorry about that. So the last 21 years, that's a long fucking time. The magic, which is why we're all here. Raven magic, and in this case Norse Satyr raven magic, is trance-like and news gathering. Ravens here are used as magical messengers going between the worlds, gathering guidance and information. Going between the worlds. Ajna Chakra, right? Gathering information. 5 of Swords. For what? The betterment of reality. Queen of Pentacles. If we think about Odin's process of sending his thought and memory out in the worlds, Gemini and Chiron, I keep saying Gemini and Chiron because that's what I'm used to saying about myself, Mercury and Gemini, if we think about him sending his thoughts and memories out into the world, then we can see the essence of the shamanic act of sending oneself out to other realms for guidance or healing. Raven energy is useful in divination of all kinds and shamanic astral travel, and I'll be eating some mushrooms later, so that will be a shamanic astral travel. Symbology, 2 ravens with Odin, raven feathers, raven beaks, black birds. The status is of least concern. They're kind of, not a pestilence, but there's a shit ton of them. So with the Queen of Pentacles today, we have the ability to really tap into our value and know how to be blessed to be a blessing, right? And ultimately with the 5 of Swords, we're trying to rewire our mistakes, South Node and Scorpio, our demons, in order that we can gather news and more effectively, gather insight, you could say, and more effectively see things as they truly are, with eyes that aren't of the physical world, right? Yes, you have things in front of you like your fingertips and all this stuff, but you have an electromagnetic body called your aura. That's not woo-woo, that's real. You're quantumly entangled with everything. That's not woo-woo. This is science, right? According to whatever modern mainstream scientists is saying about action at a distance, spooky action at a distance, quantum entanglement. So there is magic behind the scenes, but we have to take that magic and make it real. So there is magic. Venus conjunct Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces, right? And we are always speaking and thinking magically. And when you say magic, people think of, I don't know, wizards and witches and like casting spells and stuff. When you speak, you're using a language that's written, spelled out, grammar, it's coming from a grimoire, and you are uttering abracadabra realities into being. And your thoughts, who knows even what this actually is ontologically, because it's like, it's a holographic kind of thing. There's no place your thoughts are. Anyway, you're taking all these things and making them practical. North Node in Taurus, Sun in Taurus, Moon in Taurus, right? We're trying to make this a better reality by battling our demons and blessing others with our own blessings. I just dropped this card, hold on. And we're going to get new flashes of insight. Don't doubt that. With the third eye, chakra day, it's like flashes of insight. Angels, right? My Nana's obsessed with angels. I think she's watching. Angels are, the angel's a messenger, right? Like the messengers of Hugin and Munin, the forethought and afterthought, right? They're bringing the messages to Odin. So keep your eyes and ears, everything, even your non-essential, your etheric senses open for messages that are going to come in like this tendrils of her banyan tree roots and ground you into a new reality. But you gotta be flexible and open intuitively. So let's go ahead and get a hexagram. I won't miss sharing a bathroom. I mean, I do it with others, but this guy has half a stomach. He was shot 10 years ago and has half a stomach. So let's just say he doesn't digest his food as thoroughly as most of us. And I smell it. So, this is very, I just pulled this the other day, but 19, this is very much how it feels right now. The sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Taurus. It's going to be a full moon, or a new moon rather, solar eclipse. So this is like the sun, and this is eclipsing it with Uranus conjunct it, and the North Node is like, here comes all this craziness. So number 19, approach. What's approaching? Our destiny, our karma, North Node in Taurus, how we're being better in the world value-wise. But there's going to be some flashes of insight from the Ravens, right? And you're going to have to battle your conscious demons, I guess your shadows, right? 5 of swords, and look beyond them and incorporate them. I mean, if you're to love your enemies in terms of a Christian sense, that means loving your demons. But that does not mean celebrating your demons, in a sense. It means making peace with them. So anyway, approach. This sign promises a period in which your abilities and performance will be finding full recognition. You enjoy strong charisma, and I'm feeling it. I mean, if you could tell, it seems like I've had coffee. I haven't. You enjoy strong charisma, and your influence grows, right? Your influence, North Node in Taurus, our value is growing. Sun and Moon in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus. You therefore win the support of others for your ideas and goals. Your personal relationships are under a lucky star as well. Maybe even a star being eclipsed by the moon. Your personal relationships are under a lucky star as well. If you are considerate and tolerant, you will be able to establish a new partnership or consolidate an existing one. This helps whenever a bad phase turns. Use this favorable period to make personal progress. If you succeed in integrating the insights you have acquired, the news flashes from the birds, third eye chakra, Ajna day. If you succeed in integrating Taurus, the grounding, integrating the insights you have acquired through the experiences, then openness and enthusiasm can contribute to new and a positive approach to life. Mercury and Gemini, right? This playfulness of mind. We can say life is but a dream. Venus conjunct Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces, but it's a dream that we're choosing to insert the coin in and play, and we're having fun with. Keep in mind that you should maintain a grip on the situation by preparing yourself for great changes. Uranus and Taurus conjunct this sun and moon, solar new moon eclipse. So great changes are afoot. You need to put your roots deep in and know where the water sources are and how to gather the light. Know where your physical value is. Deal with your past piling up all around you and your demons, essentially. Like, no more saying, oh, I'll work out one day. It's like, get a regimen going, or, oh, I'll eat better one day. Start eating better. Or, oh, I'll invest in myself later. Invest in yourself now. And not in some, like, stupid way where it's like, oh, I'll get quick rich scheme. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about planting roots to be of value to yourself and others so you can blossom in an ecology of reality that is a terrarium of value, North Node and Taurus. And when we approach the messages from beyond, news from beyond our minds, the Ajna chakra, right? When they approach us, they're going to cause epiphany. Oh my gosh! It's like this is Saul of Tarsus with Saul of Tarsus, and then one day he became Paul of Tarsus. He had an epiphany. He saw an angel or whatever happened, and he got blind really, and he changed his whole life. So it's an amazing energy we can tap into. I know it's probably rattling everyone's cage. Don't think you're alone on that. This is but a birth pang in the apocalypse of everything, right? So, beautiful. This is some Taurus heavy, Neptune heavy, Pisces heavy looking stone. We got azurite. You can quantumly entangle this. The reason I'm saying that sun, moon, and North Node in Taurus, Uranus and Taurus is kind of an electrified, solid looking thing. It's not like, soft looking, but at the same time it's this deep blue, this Piscean kind of dreamlike blue. Neptune, Jupiter, Venus conjunct Mars in Pisces. What it is, meditative and dreamy, azurite is a soft, powdery to prismatic, rich blue, copper-infused mineral. Who needs it? The materialistic, right? So the shadow side of the Queen of Pentacles is this hyper-material, like North Node in Taurus, Sun and Moon in Taurus, where it's like, where's my money? Oh my gosh, I want to lose 5 pounds. It's like the shadow of this, right? It's like, it's good to be in shape, but it's not great to just count calories all day. It's good to have money, but it's not good to be Uncle Scrooge or whatever, Scrooge McDuck, counting shekels on your desk all the livelong day. So, the materialistic, vain, and always craving, and that's not a judgment, that's almost all of us, Leos especially, and I would say, a solar eclipse is tapping into certain energies with Uranus involved that is not Leo exactly, but very kind of rocking our boats. Where to put it? Alongside the spiritual shovel you're using to dig your way out of that prison of worry, indecision, and desire you've constructed around yourself, right? The shovel is your mind. Free your mind, Neo, right? And we need to free our minds by basically trusting the process and saying, I want to be the highest value for myself and others by dealing with my, the messages that come in from on high and having a better approach, a radical approach, Uranus conjunct the sun and moon in Taurus, North Node in Taurus, that creates a spring cleaning essentially of the past around you and dealing with your demons. So when you're indecisive, when you're all fidgety, when you're dreamy, when your desires are got you captured, connect with this. And you can quantumly entangle with this. I didn't say that, but it's the case. You don't have to own it. When to use it? When material pleasures aren't giving you the buzz they used to. When it's time to take a break from snapping selfies and chasing shiny things, you can shake off shallowness. Start with your breath. This is some very Taurus stuff. Start with your body, right? Your breath. Then dive into the deep end with Azurite. Explore your hidden depths. And that is what our third eyes will let us do. We're exploring our hidden depths. We're exploring the depths of how far our roots and how high our branches can go. We're exploring the value that we can bring when we deal with our demons. We're exploring the value we can bring in our bodies, minds, and hearts, and our communities and our work, all these things, when we are open to messages from beyond our ego state, right? That's a better approach, and it really will radically shift things. It's like, and then that's like a whole new octave being summoned, if you want to put it that way. So, explore your hidden depths with Azurite, tap into that Ajna Chakrate on this Saturn's day, and really, and ride the lightning is the best way I can put it, right? It's a new moon, solar eclipse. The moon in Taurus is going to be eclipsing the sun in Taurus, and Uranus is conjunct this with the North Node conjunct this also. So, pretty extreme stuff, especially with the whole Venus exactly conjunct Jupiter and Neptune. They're all at 27. I wrote it down somewhere, but they're all exactly conjunct. So it's like, if ever there was a time to like wish upon a star and say, I commit, it's kind of right now. So commit your roots, dig deeply, battle your demons, be open to the news, right? Take a new approach, because your mind, third eye Ajna Chakra day, your mind is going to give you some insights right now, especially because your ego, in a sense, your sun is going to be eclipsed by the moon, your emotionality, right? Your emotional matrix is what Techie would say. So we're going to have deep epiphanies, but are these things going to be practical and groundable? That's really the question. Explore that. Explore the depths of your hiddenness, and hopefully all of that makes sense. Holler for readings if you want. $33 USD for an hour of cards like this for yourself. $88 for 3 hours of astrology. I've only got 5-star reviews, so you know that's hot fire. Especially with the energies we're dealing with, you know you'll have a good time. And $111 for both. Leave a tip if you feel so inclined, obviously. And like, share, subscribe, tag someone who you think will benefit from this. I know that we're all in a great deal of change, but we're bringing value. That's what it's all about. We're grounding North Node and Taurus. We're grounding higher level epiphany. But that means dealing with the past and the bullshit that piles up around us, using our heads and insights that aren't maybe so obvious, like chess hacks or something like that, three steps ahead. It might seem like time travel if you're intuitive, right? Ajna Chakra. You're just using your head in a very practical way. And then know that the approach you're having right now is in order to expand your horizons from the hidden depths. Azurite. KN. This is a general reading, but you can holler for a personal reading if you'd like I just said. 5-star review. Holler, holler, holler. So, ground, the electricity. This is almost like an electric conduit, right? Like a lightning rod, right? With Uranus and Taurus, North Node in Taurus, but the sun and moon eclipsing, new moon and solar eclipse in Taurus. We're taking the old and we're shedding it. With Pluto and Retrograde now in Capricorn, we're cutting out the gangrenous stuff. With Mercury and Gemini, we're seeing new insights. We're getting revelations, basically news, of where we've fallen short and how we can ascend better. And don't beat yourself up. Just kind of deal with it, you know. If your shoes are untied, tie them. Don't just run around saying, oh my God, my shoes are untied. I'm such a bad person. It's like, just tie them, right? So very practical, but our approach is going to be electrified right now. And we, with all this Piscean energy as well, this beautiful kind of dreamy, like lucky, inspired energy of Jupiter, Neptune, Venus exactly conjunct. Tap into your hidden depths with Azurite, going beyond with your third eye if possible. And that's all I got to say about that. Holler for readings. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Enjoy your Saturn's Day and new moon solar eclipse. Adios. Bye.